Arturo, we've been doing some great stuff together, and
Yeah.
you're also here in partnership with Precor. You got some new products.
We have a really cool concept around glute machines. We try to implement science behind them.
Tell us about Smart Sled then.
So we'll start with the resistance mechanism. It's two dual motors. They're magnetic motors. We can go from 100 pounds to 700 pounds just like that. So here's a very light resistance, and then we can pick it up to our middle resistance, and then all the way up to our highest resistance. And so we don't even need any weight plates on this. You can still do pulls as well.
Arturo,
Yeah.
we meet again.
Yes.
We've been doing some great stuff together, and
Yeah.
you're also here in partnership with Precor. You got some new products. Tell us a little bit about what you're launching here today at IHRSA.
Yeah, so we have a really cool concept around glute machines. We try to implement science behind them. It's a topic that is very trendy, but we really want to step out of this frenziness and put science into the product. So there is not compromise in terms of biomechanics. For me, it's the most important. And a machine that can be used by anyone, regardless of the size. So you will have enough adjustments, but with the focus on biomechanics.
Right. So how many pieces you got in the range? It's like
We have 6 pieces.
Okay.
2 more are coming soon.
Right.
Cannot say, but yeah, 6 pieces right now.
And what is this meant to run like a circuit? Is it?
I wouldn't say, if you have this in an open space, nobody's gonna do like a circuit. Nowadays, everyone is following their own program. So you wanna have a good equipment to use by your own,
Okay.
right? Different story would be you have an actual concept in a private room and you run programs. And you maybe charge a fee for that, right? And you have a coach. Then I might see that happening, right? But not just on an open gym floor.
Okay. So 5 pieces. Maybe take us through it and explain why these pieces are relevant for this. I guess it's a new trend which for people to train glutes and lower body and
Yeah. Okay, first one, we call it 3D multi-abductor.
Okay.
Why? Well, actually the hips, when they open up, they move doing this arc of motion.
Okay.
Which combines abduction, external rotation. So we want to replicate the natural motion of the hip. And that's different from others. They just move in one single plane of motion, right? So we have this machine where as she do the motion, you can go ahead. You will see how this open up and goes down in an arc of motion. And that what it does is replicating the natural mechanics of the hips and the functioning of the glutes. So you will have way more range of motion and it will feel much better, no restriction, right? Now, the second nice feature that we have is the ability to adjust the back seat of the bench. And what it does is, when you are seated, lean forward, you work the glute max. As you lean back, you're gonna work the glute medius. You're gonna feel more sideways. So in a single machine, we can target nicely both the glute max and the glute medius in this type of abduction motion.
Nice.
You can put band pegs if you want.
Okay.
It feels very smooth because we use double linkage. So yeah, that's really nice one.
Okay. And then the next one we got here?
Yeah, the next one, we call it pendulum kickback. And it's a self-discretion of the motion. So what we do here, we have a kneeling position with 3 contact points for maximum stability. And then she's gonna do a motion that is a swinging back, like in a pendulum motion. And what it does is minimize knee flexor extension, so we minimize quads. The only moving joint is the hip and the glutes, right? We use a double linkage, so it feels very, very smooth. You can add resistance bands as well. So you combine maximum stability with just pure glutes. So the next one, we call it Deadlift Elite. And it's a multi-purpose platform for deadlift and other stuff, really versatile. So what you can see first is we have the classic grips, which are angle. This can be adjusted. So this is the traditional starting position where you can do any deadlift variation, whether it's Romanian deadlift or conventional deadlift, right? Now, we have something really cool, which is these dual rotatory grips that rotates in supination and pronation. It also rotates towards the rotational axis of the machine, meaning you will have a nice wrist alignment all the time. It will feel very natural. You can do even step backs, like split squats, you can do one side because we have a connector. So the loading arms can move independently, but you can connect both arms and work together.
Right, nice.
Like this. Then we have adjustable roller pads for Bulgarian split squat. So you will put your rear leg there, and then again you can use either the rotational grip or the other grip. Really cool one.
Yeah, I like that. It's very nice.
And then the last feature, which is unique, is that we have this special bar, and you can see the open hooks. So in the open hooks, you can connect pretty much any attachment, but this particularly is an attachment for a barbell. And then you are gonna replicate the feeling of a barbell deadlift much more. Really good
Nice.
one. It's cool, huh?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Now, next one.
You've been busy, Arturo.
I've been very busy, very busy. But I love that, I love that. Okay, so this is a hip thrust elite. Probably hip thrust is one of the most complex machine. You want to build it properly because you want a motion that replicates the own mechanics of everyone. So you want natural motion with minimum adjustment in a context of maximum stability. So we have this carriage that moves up and down, forward, backwards to follow your own mechanics. And we have a context of stability because we have these shoulder pads and the big bench. So no matter how much you push back, you will be held in place. You kind of
And this
move
is
backwards.
adjustable as well, then? It just,
This is adjustable. When you finish, you will lock, and then you move forward. Really nice. You can connect resistance bands as well.
where do the bands
The
connect?
bands will go over here.
Oh, okay. Right, that's fixed at the bottom, right?
yes.
I get it. Nice.
You can adjust the height. So you can start by a glute bridge setup with this back support very little, very short, and then you can bring this up to fit your own range of motion. And then the last piece,
then.
a really unique piece of equipment that is actually based on a machine from Body Masters, a very old brand. It's called the low back Body Masters. I did some fine tuning to make it more glute dominant, more glute biased. So you can jump in. I'm gonna make some adjustment for here. And I think you're good to go now. So it has a few adjustments.
So what is it? What is it? Lower
It
back
is-
or hamstring?
It's actually glutes, pure glutes.
Okay.
This, we call it kneeling glute isolator. It's probably the only machine that really isolates your glutes. So you start from you see, it's really cool. So you start from a hip flexion position, and then you actually thrusting your
right,
hips
okay.
into the pad. You are not leading the motion by pushing the roller pad, you're actually thrusting into the hip pad. And what it does, because your knees are bent, hamstring cannot work, quads cannot work, it's just pure glutes. Through the full lengthening to the full shortening of the glutes. Again, you can put resistance bands. We use a double link cage so the movement feels very smooth, constant tension all the time. It might not be very intuitive because people cannot relate to something that is existing, but those who try it is one of their favorite.
And what roughly, like, what are we talking about per unit?
I have an idea.
You haven't got any idea yet?
I don't have it. I mean, I know what's gonna be the retail price in the US, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
But it's very impressive. I know you've been working on this for a long time, and I have to give you a lot of credit for
Thank
pulling
you.
something
I appreciate
together.
it. I appreciate
very
it.
nice, very sophisticated, very functional. So
I appreciate
I'm also
it.
glad that we're working together with you as well.
Yeah,
on some,
we have
we've got our glute
things
box
coming.
and,
Yeah,
our glute rack, which will be launched later this year as well.
I think what I can bring to the industry that is different is that my background is not business. I'm a coach. I've been doing this for many, many years. I have a scientific background, right? But I wanted to that the product reflects the knowledge based on science, but also the practical experience that I have in the field for 17 years, right? And many times manufacturers, they don't have this expertise in biomechanics, in working with people in the field. They know about engineering, about business, but not about biomechanics, right? So I wanted to combine both strength, my strength in terms of biomechanics and expertise in the field, and now with Precor, the expertise in terms of quality, reliability, engineering, right? I think it's a very powerful offering.
Well, I'm impressed.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Arturo. Alex, how many years ago is it?
It's been about a year and a half.
Yeah? It feels like longer, actually.
It feels like a lot longer.
We saw, I came to see you at a gym in Costa Mesa, and it was a real basic version.
Right.
Lots of, kind of very different to what we've got today.
It was definitely more rustic. It was the version I built out of my garage. We were bolting it all together and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, after 6 months, we came down to a new design for the Smart Sled. So a little bit more inspired by Tesla and like the Tesla models. But yeah, so we've come a long way with the design.
Come on, tell us about Smart Sled then. So where do you want to start?
So we'll start with the resistance mechanism. It's 2 dual motors. They're magnetic motors. Those are our braking mechanisms. The Sled isn't battery powered for the motors. The only battery is for the microcontroller and the LED lights. So we can control this thing wirelessly and manually. So if it's not connected Bluetooth, our manual controls are over here. So it's just a flip of a switch. We can go from 100 pounds to 700 pounds just like that. And then we have our change of direction mode. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yes.
So we turn one side on, one side off simultaneously.
So you kind of, people are challenged with how they're pushing it. Give us a demonstration so we can see.
Here's our normal mode. So here's very light resistance, and then we can pick it up to our middle resistance, and then all the way up to our highest resistance. And so we don't even need any weight plates on this. We do have weight pegs for weight plates to keep it down. As you saw at that higher resistance, it does tend to pick up the back.
Can you pull it as well as push?
You can pull and push. So we have a rope here. So you can still do pulls as well. So from here, you can pull. The resistance is so high on pulls, we do recommend putting weight on there to gain that traction on the pull back. And then our change of direction level, the harder you push, so if I go nice and easy, I can control it pretty straight. But if I go really hard, it's really gonna fight back, which is really good for athletes because you really have to learn how to use the ground. So you're planting your foot and getting that load in the lateral position.
Right. When I saw the original one, you had some stuff going on the app as well, and there was like a subscription idea. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, so right now it's completely free just to get people onto the app and learning how to use it. So you can control the resistance wirelessly. So as someone is pushing it, the trainer can change the resistance, change the mode, and also track all the data.
Now, what's the sort of price range of this? There's a bunch of sleds on the market. A lot of them now are fairly inexpensive. This does a lot more. What can someone expect to buy one of these?
Right now, because it's new technology, we're at $4,500.
Right.
Because we can track data, it's all terrain, and you could do multiple different lateral movements that you can't really do on any other machine right now. We are coming out with a consumer model in the next year, so that'll be more competitive pricing towards the other sleds.
And where are you aiming at this? Is this pro sports teams or gyms, or what are you
right
seeing
now?
most
It's
uptake?
pro sports teams, high-end gyms, and also for therapy. So this has been proven to work very well with rehab and therapy.
Have you started selling this now commercially?
Yeah, so we're with a couple gyms like Self-Made, EBS, obviously. We're getting into some pro teams right now in the off season, working with a lot of our NFL guys, and really testing it with the best of the best.
And when we last met, you was making it in Mexico. Are you still doing it there, or have you?
Right now, we're out of China.
Right.
So we are looking to move both in China and Mexico.
Right. Okay. And what about the developments of it? You know, I know you're kind of a crazy inventor. Where are you going to go next with this or your company?
With our company, we're going to look at more data analytics. So how can we get more exercise Gen Pop data? And how can we utilize that data to increase performance in just Gen Pop overall health, combating diabetes, obesity as well, and looking at what this data shows to not only help nutritionists, but exercise scientists in combating those diseases.
Well, congratulations. I know it's been a long journey, and I've seen parts of it, and I really impressed that you've managed to get this to market. And it's a cool and unique product. So
I appreciate it.
Well done, Alex.
It's great seeing you again.
Brian from Marpo, interesting piece of equipment that caught my eye. Tell us a little bit about what you've got going on here today.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Ryan.
This is our Marpo mag rack. It's brand new to the industry. Really what it is, if you understand what a Smith machine is, it really is a Smith machine on steroids. What you have is functional strength training that is safe and dynamic, that has all sorts of creative ability. It moves up and down a vertical transverse. It also has a horizontal orientation to it. It's all about functional training. It's all about not being so stuck in form and being stagnant in what you're doing with the movements. Everything you find in the gym is really form-based. This allows you to get off center and allows everyone to work within their own individual parameters, if you know what I mean.
So what's the resistance that we've got here then?
Well, what you have is magnetic resistance, adaptive magnetic resistance. So 10 pounds up to 300 plus pounds. And when I say 300 plus pounds, it's whatever your potential is. So if you can press 450 pounds, this thing will max at your pressure. But check it out.
It's press and pull, isn't it?
It's press and pull. You can put a little resistance. You go from a cardio up to a strength workout. And in between, it's all about that anaerobic salad, creating the ability to... Anaerobic salad. It's a little bit of everything. And that's what's cool about this. I mean, Marpo Fitness really does put the fun and functional. When you figure out what you're doing with this and that you can do just about anything depending on your body motion and who you are and your abilities, or should I say lack thereof abilities, it rotates and twists. Check this out too. So this has 5 different handles on it. It's very elementary. So Marpo Fitness came into incorporation in 2006. We started with our rope trainers. They've been around for a long time now. And like our rope trainers and our tire trainers, our mag rack is all about dynamic variable resistance. What you can do. Now, the thing about the mag rack is it really makes strength training safe and available. Turn it over and do a bend over row. A nice bend over row with some resistance. There you go. Again, no plates, no weights. It's quiet. You can be as explosive if you want to. It's both the positive and the negative. Check this out. This is another nice key. When's the last time you deadlifted, Matthew?
A couple of days ago.
There you go. So you have good form. Just get a deadlift position. Again, this has a max push-pull, right? So right now, this is a low resistance.
Right.
Good form. You can test form, treat how to teach form. But now let's say we're going to max.
Okay.
Time machine. I'm going to put you up. You're in max position. That's pretty strong, Matt. That's nice. But you can see how you can exert your max pressure against this and it'll exert it back at you. So you have the ability, I tell people it's a time machine for functional strength training because you can do what? Bring people that haven't advanced or in the prime of their workout career yet, or people that have advanced well past it, right? People that are no longer looking at plates and weights and saying, I want anything to do with that. Now you bring it back to them.
That's nice. So with this magnetic resistance, do you plug it in, or is it?
No, it's all based. There's nothing plugged in.
Oh, okay.
It's a big metal tomahawk that has magnets on it running over a flywheel. Big counterweight balance. This thing is industrial strong.
I like it. I like it when people come up with ideas that you've never seen before.
It's cool, huh?
I like the push and pull idea. How long you had the product?
The product is actually final baked this year. We introduced it last year. But last year there was a couple tweaks to it, and in doing so, this really is the first year that it's actually in its inception.
What is this one?
This is a landmine. So simple little handles, that's what it is. We take elementary movements that you find, kettlebell, landmine, and because you have the horizontal and the vertical application, you can actually replicate the landmine. So you have the rotation and the twist. Again, no plates, no weights. Right. You're not banging into your facility. But again, it's not just... I mean, it's how do you want to go about... It's endless.
Who's
Endless
the
versus-
brains behind this?
The brains?
Yeah.
Our owner, Marius Popescu. Marpo.
What's his
Marius Popescu.
Right.
Marpo.
Oh, okay. I like it. It's a smart
It's
idea.
cool, huh?
It's innovative, and well done.
And
I like the sales pitch. And you got bloody huge hands, by the way.
Thank you. God got me some hands. It's cool about it. But really what it does, right? Fun. Is it fun?
It is.
So many gyms are the same, right? The same, just everything just stagnant. This puts energy in your gym. And the other thing about it is it's not only fun, it's versatile, not only with what you can do, but who can use it, right? And it's safe.
I love the passion.
And in the end, it's safe.
Thanks, mate. JP Stockton, Hammer Strength Product Development Director. Have I got that correct?
Yes, sir. That's close enough.
And Hammer Strength, this is a brand that's been around for a very long time. When I started our company 25 years ago, I remember Hammer Strength and plate load being a thing, and then it kind of dropped off, and we were just chatting, and it seems to be back again. What's going on with that then, do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you look around the industry and you're seeing a passion for strength training and a passion for free weights and a passion for plate loaded, and I can speak to us specifically, we have reinvested in the Hammer Strength brand and our product development. So over the last several years, we've been able to do a lot of new stuff, and it's got our customers excited again.
You were saying, I met you, I can't remember, like probably a year ago, and you sort of mentioned that on the plate load side, there hadn't been anything new added to the range for quite some time. Was that correct? And if so, how long was it since you developed a new piece in the plate load range?
Yeah, I'd say that with Hammer Strength Plate Loaded, it went a little dormant probably from about 2007 till about 2018 or so. We just didn't have the resources to put to it, and we were busy in other areas of the business, and since then we've had a dedicated team that is really focused on Hammer Strength, and the company has been good to let us run off into the corner and develop and work with our customers and create the stuff that really is in demand today.
So there's some new pieces. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here at IHRSA for the first time today in the Hammer Strength range.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this piece. This is an assisted Nordic. Very athletic movement. We've seen Nordic hams being done to protect athletes from hamstring injuries, and so not everybody can do that. In fact, a very small percentage of people can do a Nordic ham. We knew that this would play well in the athletic market, and we looked to athletics and performance to help us drive our innovations. And so when we brought this piece here to IHRSA, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if people would walk wide around it and look at it like
for those of you listening, it doesn't look like the most intuitive piece of equipment, that's for sure.
Right, and so as we showed up here, it became kind of the cornerstone of the Hammer Strength booth. If you walked by yesterday, there was not a free minute. We probably got 10,000 reps on this piece yesterday, and really what we've done is we've created a machine that is very simple to use. So in the fabric of Hammer Strength, we try to do whatever possible to make sure that simplicity is first. Anybody can walk up to the product and they don't have to adjust it just right because the machine is already set up for them to be able to use it. So somebody can come into this machine.
So where do I, just as we're going, and I'll try and explain it for people who are listening to audio, like how do I get in it?
Yeah, so all you got to do, slide in to the knee pad here, and I'm just going to align my knees between these two pads, and that puts my knees in a perfect position with the pivot point. So it doesn't matter how tall I am. I could be 7 feet tall, I could be 5 feet tall, and as long as my knees are right here, I can use this product.
Right.
And then I can adjust a chest pad to accommodate for my size.
Go on, give me a demo then.
Yeah, okay. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on keeping my hips, my pelvis neutral, my hips pushed forward. I'm gonna lean into the pad, concentrate on contracting my hamstrings, and pull myself back up.
And so it's an assisted Nordic.
Exactly, it's
yeah.
an assist. So I've got 90 pounds loaded on the arm, and that means it takes 90 pounds off of my body so that I can perform this exercise. We've taken a very intense and difficult exercise and made it so anybody can perform it. And it's very different than a leg extension, or I'm sorry, a leg curl.
It actually, yeah, now you've explained it, I'm pretty slow, but it is a little bit more intuitive than what I thought it was. Yeah, that's the bit that normally, like, I get stuck on the floor and fall on my nose.
Right.
And even if you do, it's going to stop you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. So what's next, Matt? What's another new product?
So the next piece, we have a new hack squat, which is pretty traditional, right? Hack squats have been in the market for a long time. We have traditionally had a hip-loaded hack squat, and we've told the story a long time how you don't want to load the spine, and it's better to just load at the hip, and the market spoke to us, and they said, we don't care about your philosophy. What we want is a shoulder-loaded hack squat. We want it to be traditional. So we went back to the drawing board on this and took what we know from our previous hack squat, made it a shoulder-loaded hack, put the handles up by your ears so that you can see them and they're easily accessible. You just have a great movement to perform a hack squat exercise. So the intention is to always be very intuitive, right?
Right.
And extremely durable.
Nice. Anything else?
So essentially, this is our perimeter system. Perimeter meaning near to wall, and we've introduced cables into it. So now you can combine barbell training with accessory storage, with cables, so that you have truly a functional area that you can create any kind of programming in the space that you have available.
Right. And what are these single stations that you just bolt onto, however, whatever squat rack or storage solution?
Yeah, it's very modular, right? So the one thing to be able to accommodate our customers when we look at either athletics or fitness, we have to fit the space and we also have to fit the training. I mean, you understand that with your business, right? So we created these stations so that we can put them on the back of the rack. We call that the mullet station.
Mullet.
Yeah, it's business in the front with the barbell, party in the back with the cables, right? So, or we can put it between racks, or we can do in line like this with the perimeter.
Okay. And then I also saw this one over here. What's the cable stuff going on this unit here?
Yeah, so the power play over there,
yeah,
it is a very cool system. So this is in addition to our multi-jungle system, and multi-jungles like plate loaded are crazy popular right now, and you almost can't have enough cables in a facility. So in building in the stations into our multi-jungles, you can combine traditional training, functional training, storage into this unit.
So on this side then, you've got a couple of pads, and what is this like to do sort of single?
So this would be like an overhead press or an incline press, and you have the stability pad there so that you can lean up against it and get a little more.
So you just do like shoulder press, for example.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. And then what would the pad be?
And the pad is a stabilizing pad. Right. So that you can load it a little bit more and get some stability.
Thank you, JP. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Anthony, I've heard a lot about this product, Lumin. I was with was Brandon the founder of the company?
Co-founder and CEO, yes.
All right. And what's your role in?
So I'm head of franchise development.
All right. Now, tell us a little bit about what you've got going on here on the booth.
Yeah, so what we have here is a new commercialized product called The Station by Lumin Fitness. So Lumin Fitness, we're here changing the game of in-person training, and a lot of that is going to be driven by artificial intelligence, right? That seems to be the big buzzword here, but we think we're here and ready to change the industry. So we are a franchise business that's trying to revolutionize and create the future of fitness with AI-led classes. But what we were seeing in the space was a lot of commercialized gyms have underutilized spaces, and they're like, we really like this technology. How can we leverage this technology in these underutilized spaces. And we were trying to figure out how we can take a slice of our really awesome franchise business and create a commercialized product, and that's what we have here today.
Let's say you're a small gym or a hotel then, what would you be delivering to them? And give me a bit of an overview of how it's going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is on-demand AI personal training. You're standing in front of a 7-foot by 3 feet wide LED screen. It's gamified, it's interactive, it's hyper-personalized to you. You'll come up, you'll scan your QR code, you'll choose from a wide variety of workouts that we offer in our library.
Can you, can you take me through it as we're doing it?
Yeah. So we've got a class. It's kind of running on automatic classes. It's getting ready to start in probably about 15, 20 seconds.
Okay.
And what we've created here is about a 4-minute condensed version of what you would actually see. So we'll go through a little bit of a warm up. We'll go through a full workout, and then we'll have a brief cool down at the end. And at the end, you'll have this kind of class turnover. So yeah, any second, here we go.
Okay, and so this will be running, so I won't have to start and stop it. It will just, so I'm looking at a countdown here. It's countdown 3, 2, 1. So you'll just walk in whenever it restarts again. Is that how it will work?
No. So if you were to do this in a hotel or a gym space, it would be on demand. So there would be a QR code, and you would scan that QR code, pick what you want, and then it would start that countdown.
Okay.
Here for this, we just kind of have a presentation running over and over, so people can walk up and kind of see how it's going.
Right.
So immediately starts with a non-tracked warm-up, so we're just following along. We're doing toe touches here, we're doing torso twists. We want to get people's heart rate elevated, and we want to get them moving. Right?
Now, if I'm doing this then, for example, like is this phone or something picking up what I'm doing?
So we've got sensors in our LEDs that are tracking your movement. So this would be on a docking station in your hotel or gym facility, and this is kind of going to be your guide through the experience. Right. So again, right here, we're just following along with what the demo silhouette is asking us to do, which is a lunge stretch, elbow in step.
Right.
Once we get through this little brief warm-up, it's going to go into class setup. Class setup is going to say, hey, this is the equipment that we need. It's going to range from dumbbells, kettlebells, resistance bands, slam balls, whatever it may be.
So in this example here, you would have the equipment in a space with this screen.
Yeah, very small space. All the equipment that we've picked to work with the station and our Lumin studios were all picked with intention to last a very long time. So we've got very durable equipment, resistance bands, dumbbells, kettlebells. So for this particular experience, we need a set of dumbbells. So we're going to jump right into the workout. We just completed class setup, and it's asking us to do air squats. So if you were to do an air squat, it's going to track your movement.
Where would I stand?
You can right here at this dot right behind you.
Okay.
Yep, and so go ahead, hit us with an air squat. And boom, it's gonna count your reps for you, and it's create a gamified experience too. So you're trying to keep squatting to get that all the way up to that line right there. So now again, this was a short 30-second split. So now we're getting ready to go into block 2. So workouts will be, 2 to 3 blocks. We'll have a motor fitness block. We'll have a muscular fitness block. We'll have a mobility block. We might have a core block. That's all going to change depending on what you pick.
Right.
The next movement we have coming up is going to be a hang power snatch. So if you want, you can use that equipment there. Okay. Maybe you don't know what a hang power snatch is. Right. Your phone right there is going to show you what it is. And you can also rotate this guy so you can get a better view of what he's doing. Right. So through the center and all the way up. Boom, right? And again, that continued gamified experience, we want to fill that funnel to try and get as many reps as we can.
So is it like in a real situation then, is it going to be showing it on my phone or on a TV screen or?
So this is just for marketing purposes, right? What you're going to have is the screen and your phone. And your phone. And a docking station for your phone. Right, think of this as your TV, and this is your remote and your guide through the entire experience.
Okay, all right. And
so next up is going to be no dumbbells, but we've got burpees.
Right, okay.
And so you'll be able to do that here, and it's going to have us do some burpees.
Right.
And so again, if you were to do a burpee, right? So chest to ground, and then all the way up, boom, it's gonna count that burpee. And so we're here, this is our plate smasher. So every time you do that, that ball is hammering down on that disc and it's gonna smash.
Right, okay.
What we've done is we've tried to gamify the entire experience. I don't want you to think that you have to do 20 burpees in 30 seconds. I want you to think about, I need to smash all of those discs.
Right.
So what we can do is we can lower that rate of perceived exertion that someone is experiencing when they're done. At the end of the workout, we'll clean up the equipment, we'll go through a brief cool down. You're like, wow, that was a lot of fun, instead of, wow, that was really hard. You'll probably say that 3 hours later when the soreness sets in, but you know, the goal is the gamification experience.
And then in the studio, which we can kind of see on the video then, so this would be the same, but there would be more like groups of people doing this. So how would you work with your phone in like a studio then?
Yeah, so in the studio here, what we do is we've incorporated smart bikes. And so the smart bikes integrate with our screen, and on the handlebars of the bikes, we have a docking station for the phones.
Right.
So just like it's set up here, the bike would be right here, the handlebars would be here, and there would be a dock for your phone. And so everybody's phone will be just to the left. And so your phone still is that guide through your entire experience.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Looks
Of course.
like an awesome concept.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Thanks for having me.
Mr. Dave Stalker, CEO of MyZone. You've got some exciting stuff to launch at IHRSA today. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, it's hugely exciting. It's been a year coming, because we did talk about it last year, but it's been a year coming, and we're launching what is now known as MyZone Open. And this is the big change of our customers out there no longer necessarily needing the wearable. So with Amazon, with Apple and with Android, it'll now directly be on the watch. Here we go. I've got two on because I'm endlessly testing it. But it's hugely exciting, because it means someone can go in the club, sign up for MyZone. You've got them as a customer. As long as they've got one of those two products, it can just appear on their watch, push of a button. They can still appear on the screen, but they can also go out, walk the dog, go for a run, go for a swim, hit it and go on. No longer two devices. I mean, how many devices are people going to wear? The truth is, the feedback is they want to wear one device, and we see this huge build up of smartwatches, and we will continue to increase with other watches over the period of time. But the launches are with Android and Apple, and it's this show, and it goes live next week. Globally, but the key markets, so here in the US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and then the others will filter down. It's there in all the languages and the rest of it. We just want to get it right. It's such a massive change to be working directly with Apple, and no longer is it our device, it's their device, and we know that they have all the reputation, but ultimately people will come back to us. So we've had to get it right, and there it is, and it looks really cool. You know, if you're a user, it's just the same thing. It's your colorful screen, and it's there, and it's up on the board, and you crack on and you get on with it. A big change for the company, and where it will take us, we will see. It certainly takes us as a company being more directly involved with our business consumers, because they're wearing, but we still remain B2B for their customers, driving those consumers, giving them another route to market. It's another device, but it's one they've already got on their wrist with MyZone on it. So we couldn't be more excited. We love launching something at IHRSA. This is what we're launching, and we see how it goes. But we're really buzzing, and the feedback, it has been fantastic. Very enthusiastic.
I arrived at my hotel Wednesday, opened up my workout bag, went to go to Gold's Gym, and realized I got the round bit, but I hadn't got the strap. So although I'm not wearing an Apple Watch today, would this have meant that wouldn't have mattered, and I could have clicked on my Apple Watch and I'd have still got my points that I've now missed when I worked out?
100%, because we all know, Matt, if you haven't got your MyZone, you didn't have a workout. And we've all been there, the trip to the gym, I haven't got it. I drive home, you know, it's that, but exactly that. If you had and this, I'm off and I'm going. So that worry goes out of the road for people. But the main thing is it's working with big major players, giving another service to our customers, all those fantastic clubs out there, and making it for the consumer just that bit easier to be a MyZone, to go through all those statuses, to get those rewards, to hit those World Health Guidelines, to build up your MEPs, build up your community, and get the world moving. Movement is what we're all about. So that's fantastic.
How does that change your business model? Because my guess is that you'd have generated a lot through selling belts. If it's now being done on an app that's for free, Like, where do you make your money?
It's not for free.
Okay.
It's not for free. So actually, what happens is that becomes, it's a product, and we're launching it at $20. So it's $20 for the year.
If you have the app, so if you go to the App Store, you download the MyZone app, you pay $20. Is that how?
No, you would download the MyZone app. That costs you nothing at all. You would go into your site, and either by QR code or by going to reception, you would hand over we're charging $20. The clubs can decide whether they bake it into their memberships or however they want to do it, and they click on and it appears on your watch. They trigger a voucher, and then we bill the facility. So no longer do they have to worry about stock and how many am I going to sell, and how long's the battery life going to have to be. They trigger them, and every month we'll say you've sold 30 of them, and here's your invoice for 600 quid.
And then what does the club, like, is there a revenue stream for the clubs then?
Well, yeah, because no one can do this apart from through a club. So it's up to them to choose how to price it, because it's not really any different from your belt. And we know that the clubs are charging a lot more for that. So my view is they have an opportunity to choose what their point's going to be. It might be $30. They can make $10 on the product, and it's a nothing. There is no cash outlay for doing that. I'm a purist. If I was to slip over and put one of my more association hats on, I would say the benefit of getting people to do it and the retention and the driving the health delivery, $20. I'm not too sure I would say, actually, I'll go for just that price because I'm going to get the benefit. I'm going to have them on my screens. I'm going to have them in my classes. But I know that people are under commercial pressure to drive revenue, and they have that flexibility to do that. So, yeah, any which way you want to crack it.
Well, congratulations. And what do I do about the points for my workout I missed?
The workout didn't happen.
Thanks, Dave. Great. Kevin, it's been a long day. We're coming to the end of it, and I've done all the fitness equipment, and I'm thinking I want some recovery and recuperation. And I saw these little pods, and I thought, okay, on and all about it. So tell me what you got going on here.
Sure. Our booth tends to get a little bit busier as the day goes on, right? So our company is WellnessSpace Brands. We were founded in '89, so a 35-year-old company. And our three primary products are Hydro Massage, is a warm water massage device. Our Cryo Lounge, which is a cold and heat therapy chair, so great for recovery, aches and pains, sore muscles. And then our Relax Space Wellness Pods. So especially after 2020, the world just knows that self-care, taking a minute for yourself is just more important than it's ever been before. So really, it's an immersive 15-minute getaway. It has
I'm going to sit in this.
Yeah, please do. It has a large 42-inch screen. It has speakers. It has a heated seat. It even has your own scent options. So there's all kinds of different content on there, from anything from nature videos to travel videos to meditation and mindfulness, breathing exercises, healthy living content. So just a variety of really good content to help you relax and escape for a couple minutes.
So let's say I have some sort of facility. You put one of these on. This one's got a door on, so I guess you can close yourself into a little bit more private.
Yes. Yep.
And then we've got some headphones here. So how would I go about using this in a commercial environment?
Sure. So really, a lot of our clubs have it in as part of a premium membership. So they have a wellness space, a wellness and recovery space, where they may have a few different services. And then this is just for the members to totally de-stress, escape for 15 minutes, help recharge if you have a long day at work, really help design to give you that little bit of relaxation and recovery.
Right. And I'm looking at this big screen, and there's a number of different, so we've got relax, reset. Just choose one of these buttons, would you, with whatever you wanted to do. Is it a touch screen or?
That's correct. So start there, just hit that quick start, and hit the top blue button there.
Right. Oh,
great.
Okay.
And so the original concept for the product was, if you're in Chicago or New York in January and you just want to be able to go to the beach for a few minutes, so you can see the waves crashing, you can hear the birds in your ears, you can even touch a button and get a tropical scent. You can have a warm seat underneath you, so it really gives you that 15-minute getaway.
Smell it. Yeah.
Exactly, right. So it's really that immersive, multi-sensory experience, help you get away for a little bit.
So this one here, we've got pine, then there's a spring water, lemon leaf, and tropical.
And then there's all kinds of different, if you go through some of the different categories here as well, as an example, you can see winter scenes, underwater, Caribbean, so all kinds of different, nature places where you can just disconnect for a little bit.
And I guess you could have these in an office or something like that as well, can you?
Great thought. Really on the corporate wellness side, especially as there's this return to the office mandates right now, you would see a lot of employers investing more in employee wellness right now. So it's really, really important concept.
Is there any like meditation style programs as well that it takes you
got it, absolutely. So if you go right back here, you can see there's travel videos, there's meditation, there's mindfulness, there's breathing exercises, health and wellness content. So there really is a pretty wide variety of content, whatever you'd like to have there.
Does the content change at all, or is it?
It does, it sure does, yeah. So we're continually sourcing new content and pushing it out to our install base.
And roughly region of like how much would this looks quite cool, but it also looks very expensive. What sort of price ranges would someone have to think about if you wanted one of these?
Typically somewhere in the 16 to 17,000 range.
That's nice.
Yep.
And how long have you had this then?
So really, the company's 35 years old. Both our RelaxSpace pod and then our Cryo Lounge chair, they're only been out about 2 years now. So we've had a lot of adoption in our commercial health club partners, but really still a fairly new concept.
And what sort of people are you seeing at the moment taking these? Is it premium clubs, low cost? Where are you seeing the traction on this at this stage?
Really interesting, especially in the past couple of years where wellness and recovery and self-care have been such an important concept. We're seeing it across the spectrum. So some in the HVLP, some in the really premium, higher end clubs, and everywhere in between. So it really isn't a specialized club that it's just for this, particular set of members.
Okay, well, I'm off to sleep. That's cool. I like this. I want one. I want one in my office.